Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cape Time. And we are here to discuss episodes 3 and 4 of Loki. And
Oh
man,
yeah.
they were absolutely amazing. I am over the moon for this show for so many reasons, but we'll save some for later because I want to deep dive into the specifics of each episode right now because they both deserve it, honestly. They're doing a hell of a job with the show, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, um, it's it's just a really well made show. It's just like I don't know. This is definitely one of Marvel's best, not just from like a story standpoint, but from like a technical standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like this is so far it's been top tier in the MCU, and
It is.
it's not even like an action heavy show necessarily. I mean, there is action, but like it's mostly character, kind of stuff like that, and it's just a really fun show, and it's just good. It's just a good show, man. I'm really happy with it, and these past two episodes have been great, and these final two episodes that have yet to release are, they're shaping up to be absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, honestly, with the way the last episode ended, I couldn't be more excited for episode 5. Although I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and everyone knows I really like that show, but I
Mhm.
never like went into like an episode like thinking like, holy shit, this is it. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm pumped. I'm freaking out. Although I loved it a lot, it just didn't have that kind of feeling for me. Loki didn't even have that kind of vibe till going into episode 4. I was like, it felt like it was back at the later half of WandaVision where I'm like, oh man, I gotta know what happens now. Like I have to know. And I feel that for episode 5. I feel that for episode 6. Like I had that same feeling I did then. And unlike WandaVision, I'm not really worried about too many plot threads getting in the way because the plot is, it's pretty straightforward in this show. There's not a bunch of things going on at once. It's just we're trying to figure out who's behind the TVA, and we're trying just to get a deeper look into the character of Loki, and that's it. And that's pretty easy to accomplish, I would say, over the next 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've got, two episodes left. In the show, like, before the show came out, I wasn't necessarily sure, like, how big of an impact this would have on the MCU. And now, knowing what we've found out over these past four episodes, uh, shit's about to go down, man.
Oh yeah, I mean this
like,
show is gonna be the
I was
implications are so
sleeping. I
big.
was sleeping on this show, man. Like, then it came out, and like, I've always been, me, I'm more of a fan of like the solo kind of smaller scale stuff. And like, this feels like the perfect baby of like the smaller scale stuff and the big MCU event stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
because the character driven parts of the show are so contained that you still get a lot of that smaller
yeah,
scale stuff like some stuff would have, but at the same time though the
it's like if
scale of the show, yeah,
Daredevil and the Avengers had a baby.
exactly. The scale of the show is just so crazy because
It's like
it's
an
not just
Avengers level
characters.
scope with
Exactly.
like side characters like Mobius. It reminds me of like Matt and Foggy and
Exactly.
Kang.
I mean,
So
for the love of God, we're getting God knows how many Lokis from the multiverse in this next episode. I mean, it's freaking whack. It's so comic book and crazy. Like, it's just everything you want from this show. And, we haven't even gotten to the big reveal that I think we both know what's coming. And I guess we could talk about it because it's been reported already. Spoiler alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kang the Conqueror is clearly behind this.
is he?
Yes.
Is that like sourced information?
No, to just common sense.
Yeah, I felt that it would be Kang, to be honest, as well.
I always did
I
too.
believe it was reported somewhere,
What, that
but
he's in the show?
yeah, that he's
No, that's official pretty much.
yeah. So like, and obviously he's already cast. This isn't like a Mephisto situation.
Well, the
Like,
thing is, he got cast really early too.
yeah,
I think this is
yeah,
why.
like, And like obviously Ravonna Renslayer in the comic books is girlfriend of Kang, so like
That's
it just
it's
it
not a
adds up. It
yeah,
adds
it's
up.
not a
Yeah.
coincidence. It's gonna happen,
If
and I
he's
think
not the main villain, he's still in there somewhere.
yeah, and I think he kind of has to be because who else is it really gonna be? I mean, and I don't think it's gonna be Renslayer because it's pretty clear from last episode that Sylvie was gonna interrogate her at the end. You know, I want answers. I want to know more. And what more is there outside of who the boss is? Because we already uncovered that the timekeepers are fake. They're robots, so they're out. So pretty much it kind of just leaves an unknown source, and I don't see any scenario where it's not Kang. Like I
by the
would bet
way,
I'd bet money on it.
the set design on this show is just
Oh,
incredible. Like
dude,
the
you know what's so cool about it? It almost feels like at times it's like on episode 3 and 4, like you get some Star Wars vibes actually.
little bit, yeah, a little bit, a little
Like
bit.
you really did get
Mad
some of those
Max, little
vibes.
Mad Max as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like kind of like even you could say a little Dune as well. It's just kind of like that desert kind of vibe. But
You
yeah,
know, like I love the smaller contained stories, obviously, but I'm also very excited to dive deeper into like all
I
the
like
other
the big
worlds
ship
out
too.
there. Yeah, like I really want to learn more about these other worlds and species out there in the world, and just keep diving into it because there's so much they can do with it as they're already showing. I mean, and this is just the beginning. You know, the wider MCU is gonna really open itself to new lengths once we get to Doctor Strange too, man. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah, I mean, like we're learning, a lot about the multiverse, and it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, everything explained fully. Like I want to know more about what variants truly are, if that makes sense. I want to know more
I
about. I want to
Yeah,
know more.
we had that
I want
talk
to know
last
more
episode.
about. I want to know more about the timelines and about how multiple timelines. I want to know if there's one, if there's actually one main one, or there's just a bunch of ones that just exist. And
Yeah, you know,
like
I
they're
think we had this talk last episode, and I think I've reached a conclusion at this point based on new info we've gotten since in these episodes that it's pretty much all bullshit for the most part. I
yeah,
mean, I think it's
that's
yeah.
always been my kind of
Like the
thing.
thing is,
I don't think
we
there is a
yeah.
main timeline, to be
I
honest.
think no, because that was their excuse for the reason of why they needed to control all the stuff in the timeline
Correct.
because they needed to say this is the main timeline. If anything branches off this, there's going to be chaos. So it's our job to fix it. But because if there wasn't a main timeline, then there wouldn't be an excuse for that really. So I think that's why they made up that excuse to begin with. And we already know that there are other timelines by default because we literally have like 5 other Lokis that we've seen if you're counting Sylvie. So it's definitely going to
Yeah.
be happening. I mean, the
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 multiverse is here.
the
We know.
question is, are variants truly variants of the main timeline, or are variants literally just alternate Earth versions, alternate
I
universe versions?
I think they're just alternate Earth versions and variants is just what they were calling them for the
Yep,
sake of again their
that's
narrative.
my guess.
It's the narrative that the TVA was trying to create. That's the whole thing. You know, I don't think that.
I think you've nailed it exactly. Like I think there's
Yeah.
a bigger mystery to unravel here.
Exactly, because the thing is, why there's no way it would make sense for all of these to just be variants of the one Loki from the main timeline. It just doesn't work that way. There's
There is
too many
no main
variables there.
timeline, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I definitely agree with that. I think even if they don't explicitly say it, I think it's going to be made clear through the actions of the next 2 episodes, one way or another.
Hmm.
Like, I think we're going to have a pretty clear view of what this is.
Correct. And I think we should get. Let's start with episode 3. Obviously, numerical
Yeah.
order. Episode 3. It takes place. Right after that big Rocksmart. It's what it's called. That big fight. Remember from episode 2. At the end, and then Sylvie and Loki escaped, and they get trapped. They arrive at 2077 Lamentis 1, which is what it's called. It's a moon that is soon to be crushed by a planet. Not ideal.
Hmm.
They really picked a great place to go.
Oh yeah.
Because Sylvie, if we remember correctly, she was hiding in apocalypses. She found another one, and bad idea. But so they're there. They're trying to board a ship. I mean, board a train. Wow, English, Tom. And it's Mobius and Mobius wasn't in this.
No, he was not in this episode.
Mobius. I don't think Renslayer was in it either. It was all. It was
Yeah, it
pretty
was
much.
all Loki. It was
It
all
was all.
Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Renslayer
all
was only in for like 2 seconds, I think, when they tried to attack them before they used a temp pad.
correct. So they're trying to figure out a way to because their temp pad broke, and this episode it was more like it wasn't like necessarily a push the plot forward episode. It was more of a character piece
Oh, it was a big character piece
about the
because
relationship
yeah, for
between
sure.
Loki, Sylvie, their similarities, their differences, yada, etc. And it's like kind of like a buddy cop kind of escape mission as well.
It's kind of what this whole show has been so far. It's a lot of buddy cop stuff, whether
I
it's
like, but I love buddy cop
Sylvie,
stuff. So
yeah, him
like,
and Owen Wilson's character. I mean, you get a lot of that buddy cop dynamic, and it's been great so far. And in general, this episode, like you said, very character driven, but at the same time, they did, push the plot forward enough where we got some new information, and this is where we first found out that everybody at the TVA, they're all variants. Sylvie revealed that here, and in the start of the episode when they first
mhm.
showed the I forgot the name of the TVA officer that she got the information from. Do you remember her name?
The lady that they got the information from. No, I
But
think she's got like a code name, right?
yeah,
Doesn't she have
yeah,
like it's like BD something here. I'm
whatever her
trying.
name was.
Oh,
Yeah,
B and Hunter B-15 realized they were variants. I'm actually trying to. I can't read it. All right, I'm stupid. Someone snitched.
I was gonna just it's just mainly the point that like when you in that beginning of episode 3 they show how Sylvie's in the head of this TVA officer, and
Yep, that's
she's looking into her past life, and I didn't realize that was her past life until obviously they revealed it at the end of the episode. But at that time, in my head, I was thinking this is kind of just her trying to put her at ease. And even my friend said actually though during that beginning part when we were watching together, how does that make any sense? She's never been outside the TVA. How would she not be confused about this whole scenario in her head? But then in my head, I was trying to make excuses for it, like maybe it's a dream, so you're not necessarily thinking about that kind of stuff. But now it makes more sense though when you get to the end because she did have a past life and we got to look into it a little bit. So it's very fascinating to think that everybody there is a variant, and it just shows how powerful the TVA or whoever's in charge of the
oh
TVA really is.
her name is Hunter C20.
Yes, thank you, Hunter
Yeah.
C20.
Okay. I went through it because she's the one that told Sylvie where the timekeepers were and all
Yes.
that. Yes. So good job, Tom. You did detective work. But yeah, she let it slip, and yeah.
I mean, like you said, the rest of it was pretty much character driven. They were talking about their past, what they went through,
Mm-hmm.
because Loki was very interested to know, how was she raised, in comparison to me? What were the differences? And she had a very different life than Loki did. And Loki, they were talking about, well, the big thing that a lot of fans took away from their whole conversation at the table was, they pretty much confirmed that Loki is bisexual, which people were very thrilled about. And seemingly, though, I mean, as we learn, he does have a thing for Sylvie. But I love. How do you feel about that? Just curious. How do you feel
Um,
about that whole thing?
the thing that one of the biggest takeaways of the show is that Loki has no idea what love is, and I think that
Yep.
at the end of the show is that he's going to realize that the love that he has for her isn't necessarily romantic, but it's kind of an admirational kind of friendship kind of love. I don't think they're actually gonna end up together.
I'm good either way in the end, but like if they go that
Uh,
route, I'm not gonna be upset at all because it makes. I mean, Loki is
I
the
would avoid it.
biggest. He's the biggest narcissist. So honestly, if he were
That's what Mobius said.
no, but it's true though. I even said that before this episode. Like I said it like last week. Like this dude is the biggest narcissist. So if he were to fall in love with her, like it would be far from the biggest stretch at all. In fact, it would be pretty in character. Like if he were to fall in love, this would be the person. So I would not be shocked at all. And if they do keep it just to just the friend stuff, that's fine. But either way, he does feel a deep admiration for her. That much is clear, and it's a big deal because Loki obviously has a lot of problems connecting with people, and the whole in episode 4, the whole Lady Sif thing, that ended up being pretty significant. It was a great use of a cameo where,
Yeah, that was
he
awesome to see.
yeah, he really just opens up to her because he's so desperate, and he says, he admits it. He's a narcissist, and he's scared of being alone, and that's the one thing he wants to avoid in life. So, but that's the kind of thing he's also at the same time scared to admit to people. He never wants to show that vulnerable side, as he shows with Mobius. Like when he talks about how they pruned Sylvie, Loki breaks, but he refuses to admit it until Owen Wilson's character really brings it out. So
Hmm.
he is one guy who,
Very guarded.
yeah, he's as guarded as they come. He hides his emotions. He's a super complex character, and they're doing a great job showing all that in this show, man. He is becoming. I already loved his character, of course, but
It'll still
that's the
bring
one
this
thing these
man.
Disney Plus shows have done so well, man. They have expanded on these characters in so many ways in each show. Every
Depth.
single show. WandaVision did wonders for Vision and Wanda, and Falcon. They did a great job on Sam and Bucky, and in this show they're doing an amazing job on Loki, man. I'm just so happy.
Yeah, it's turned a character that I liked into a character that I really love, and just like I can't wait to see more of. It really is, a truly great show. Like I think like even if you're not a big Marvel fan, I think there's enough in here that like you'll still like it.
Like this
Oh
show is best of the MCU for sure. Like I think this is
yeah,
gonna end up being
tells a good
top.
mystery. Tells a good
Yeah,
mystery.
it's a great mystery.
I've always been a big fan of mystery. So
It's
like,
super Wizard of Oz, dude. Like with
mhm,
I
the
love that.
curtains
Like
being
that's so,
pulled back, yeah,
yeah, it's so cool. And I
or in this
think
case, the
that
robot heads being chopped
yes,
off.
I think this is gonna definitely end up being a top 10 MCU project. And even looking at just shows in general, like whether you count Agents of Shield or the Netflix shows, I think this even stands with. Like this is probably right below, like if you're counting like Daredevil and stuff, it might be like right below that, honestly. Like it's that good. It's like not that far off. Like if they finish right.
Yeah, never compare anything to Daredevil. Don't
Hey,
do it.
if they wrap the show up nicely, man, it's gonna be right in that A
It's
A
a great
level
show.
tier.
It's a great show. I won't deny it. It's a great show, and I really hope they stick the landing. Uh, you know,
That's the
uh,
one thing the Disney Plus shows have not done perfectly yet. Like Falcon was a better landing than WandaVision, but it was still not quite perfect. And I think this show, I
I think
really
this
do
one
believe,
will.
yeah, I think this one will just because of the fact that again they have a lot less plot threads they have to clean up with, and
Yeah,
also
it's a pretty straightforward
yeah, it's
story.
very straightforward. And you got to keep in mind too, they're really high on the writer of this show, man. They signed him to an extension a while ago. Like they gave him a big contract to stay with Marvel, and I don't think they would have done that unless they were absolutely
He wrote
thrilled
Doctor
with this
Strange
show.
with Sam Raimi.
I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, they didn't just give him like another show or another smaller scale movie. They gave him quite possibly the biggest movie of Phase 4 potentially. Like it's that big, and they're letting him write this with Sam Raimi. Sam freaking Raimi, like the fact that they trust him that much speaks volume to how good of a writer they must see him as. So I really don't think this show is gonna have any sloppiness in its ending on it. So I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, I'm just. I really think that this is overall one of those things that is just. It's just. It doesn't even like have to be an MCU thing for it to be great. It's like it benefits from having all that continuity, but like if you strip away all the MCU aspects of this, it's still like I said, a really good mystery that just tells a good story, and like anyone can enjoy this. And thankfully it is in the MCU, and thankfully it does have big implications for the future, especially multiverse implications. We all know what these next few months are going to entail. I think you know what I'm hinting at. Spider-Man. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying the hell out of it, man. I can't wait for Wednesday. And so we should probably get into episode 4 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, episode 4, man. Like I said, this is the first episode of a Marvel show that I went in like crazy excited since the end of WandaVision. So this was a big deal for me when I was going in.
I was pretty pumped to see it.
Yeah, and like me and my friends all came together. We're like, okay, guys, this
Because
is
that
it. We're gonna
ending,
watch
because
this.
episode 3, I forgot to mention the episode 3 ending. It kind of left on a big cliffhanger.
Well, yeah, let's on the big cliffhanger of them not knowing if they were gonna make it off the planet, and also it was extra hype for me because Tom Hiddleston said from the beginning of the show that episode 4 and 5 were gonna be like
Oh
huge
shit.
for the show, and also the fact that I didn't watch it till it was Wednesday night. So Wednesday morning, I was seeing all the reactions of everybody saying, how this is some of the best MCU content we've ever gotten, and
Yeah,
far and away the
I
best
fell asleep.
episode.
I fell asleep
Yeah,
as
and
well. So
I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a big deal. I gotta make sure I gotta watch this ASAP
yeah.
because this seems pretty crazy.
Luckily, what happened? I saw that people were loving it, but I didn't see any spoilers. So I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this as soon as possible. I didn't want to be spoiled. I didn't want to know what happened. And like, I have this tendency to look at the spoilers on the internet. If you give
I
me
do.
enough time, if you give me a computer or a phone, I'm most likely gonna look for the spoilers because I just can't help myself. So, but this time, thankfully, like the thing that I love about this release kind of thing is like these plots really haven't leaked too much. Specifically, the Loki stuff, it hasn't really
It's
leaked all that
so
much.
weird how literally all of WandaVision leaked, but the other two shows have been pretty tight. Like
Yeah, so
literally, every episode for WandaVision had leaks every week. It was bizarre. Like I have no idea
yeah,
what happened with that show.
so like I don't have the ability to look at the spoilers
Exactly.
because all I do is like usually besides this week I wait until 3 o'clock in the morning and I watch the episode, and then like I'm reacting in real time to the spoilers, and then once you're done you go on the internet and everyone posts their reaction and stuff, which is really fun. So yeah, I mean it's nice to keep that mystery alive because I'm kind of an idiot. So yeah, so episode 4 picks up where we left off, right? And they didn't know that they didn't know whether they were getting off alive. That episode 3 ended off on a big cliffhanger. They were unable to board because it got destroyed. Yeah, so I was having a hard time believing that Loki would die in episode 3 of Loki, of a
Well, yeah,
of a 6 episode series
but
called Loki.
yeah, you're right. And then beginning of episode 4, they didn't even open with that. They actually opened with the Sylvie stuff,
Yeah,
with
which I
young
really
Sylvie
like.
in Asgard, and that was very cool. Yeah, and then we find out the connection between her and Renslayer, and we get our first look at the Timekeepers, and I absolutely love that first shot of them, man. We just see Renslayer going down in the elevator, and you get this cool shot of her walking in, and the camera flips, and we see the eyes glowing red, all of them positioned in their spots, and it's like, holy crap, like, what even is this? Like, it almost looks like manufactured, like, it almost looks like it's not real, and that's what I like. Like, it gives this vibe off of it being so stereotypical and manufactured. Like, you could tell it almost feels off, but at the same
What,
time, you're like,
the Timekeepers?
yeah, like you can almost
Yeah.
feel it. But at the same time, you question it, like, are they real? And in the
Yeah,
end,
as
they weren't.
soon as I saw like the CGI of it, I was
Yeah,
like, yep, like it's clearly intentionally
yeah, it was
robotic.
flawed intentionally.
It's intentionally there to show you that like, hey, these are robots. Like this is not who's behind this shit. Um, and yeah, it's Kang. It's Kang.
It literally
It's
has.
Kang. It's
There's
Kang.
no scenario where it's if it's not Kang, I will send everyone that listens $100. Like
Whoa.
I am that confident. There's
Well,
no
I'm
way.
editing that out.
No, you don't need to, because I'm 100% sure. There's no way it's not Kang. He's in. Why else would he be in the show? It makes zero sense
Well, yeah,
otherwise.
why would his girlfriend be the way she is by doing what she's been doing? She wasn't protecting Kang, right?
Like what? Was she doing this by herself for no reason?
No,
And
she's
Kang is just
definitely.
going to appear in the show for shits and giggles and not even know her? Like, come on.
I'm not even ruling out like Renslayer being the big bad in this show, but also like Kang being like the orchestrator.
You know, Kang is definitely the orchestrator. Like, there's no doubt
Definitely,
there. He's
they're a
just he's
team.
like
They're a
yeah.
team, and he's the leader.
Yeah, I think we probably won't even see him till the season finale if I had to guess,
Yeah,
but we'll
it would
see
be
him though.
dope.
It's
Episode 5, he leaves off, and like the last scene is Kang the Conqueror revealed.
if they do that to me, I'm gonna freaking lose it, dude.
Holy fucking shit! Holy shit! It's Kang! It's Kang!
They
Great
can't leave me.
casting. Great
Oh,
casting.
I can't wait, man. I cannot wait to see Jonathan Majors in that role. It's see, the cool thing is with these Disney Plus shows too, they're not afraid to have like big moments of what are going to be very substantial characters in the shows and not the movies. Like introducing Kang in a show, that's a big deal, man. That's a
Ballsy
really
move,
big.
man. Ballsy move.
It's a
I like
ballsy
it.
move. I respect the hell out of it, and it shows that
I don't
Feige
think
really means what.
I don't think that this will happen. But can you imagine the end of episode 6, the multiverse breaking open, and like Alfred Molina's Doc
Uh,
Ock like popping through or something like that?
it'll never happen, but it would have been freaking nuts if they did his little Spidey tease at the end, and that's why they waited for the
Dude,
trailer.
dude.
Imagine that's why.
Yeah, we might even have to get into that in a minute. But like,
We could briefly discuss at the
yeah,
end.
let's finish our Loki talk first because this show deserves our undivided attention for now. Yeah, so like they get out of it, thankfully. The TVA, you know, rips Loki and Sylvie out before they get creamed. Yeah, this is, I think this is, in my opinion, I think this is Owen Wilson's most meaty role so far
I
in the
haven't
series.
seen him in a crazy amount, honestly, so I don't know for
No,
sure, but
I mean like out of this series, like this for his
oh, okay.
character, like this was the episode in which he got to do the most, in my opinion. Like
Yo, when he said how, I thought he said wow at first, and I got really excited. He went
he says
how?
how the same way he says
Yeah, he
wow.
did the exact same way. He went how?
How?
I was like,
That man, that
I
man is
got
a
so
living
excited.
legend. That man is a living legend, and yeah, he's been awesome, and like he's got dramatic chops, man. Like
No, he has dramatic
it's in
chops,
there.
and he's one of those actors, man. He's just so damn likable when he's
Yeah,
on screen. Like he's just so he has that
his
endearing. It's like
interrogation
you
of
see
Loki.
Randall Park. Very similar
Yeah,
thing.
his interrogation of Loki in this episode. You narcissist.
Yeah.
He keeps going, and it's just like this is awesome. I could literally watch an hour, 2 hours of Owen Wilson just berating Loki
And
like
you see,
that.
that's why episode 1 is actually my favorite outside of episode 4, because I think that the character stuff in that episode was as good as it gets, man. Like
It's
it was
great.
such people say it was such an expositional episode, but the thing is though, so much of
Exposition
it,
does not mean bad.
yeah, it was
Exposition does not mean
exactly.
bad.
It does
Please.
not always mean bad,
Most of the
especially in that
time,
case.
exposition means good, to be honest, and that was the case for episode 1 because like it
Episode
did get
1 was exposition at its best, honestly.
yeah, it's like exposition, good storytelling. Like it's good, it's good storytelling. Like there's literally like what you want. You want episode 1 to be Loki just beating a bunch of people up,
Yeah,
and
like
like
I'm not sure
that
what
being
people
that.
wanted.
Like, well, what did you want? Like, I want to know, these characters, and I want to know what's going on. It seems important to know. You can't have a movie without a plot. You can't have a show without a plot. Feels like plot's important.
Plot
I don't,
is somewhat important.
somewhat important. I don't know. I'm not a genius by any stretch, but I'm starting to think that like there's no show or movie without a story. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. So and I agree. I do think episode 1 would be my first or second favorite. as well. I think you and I are on the same page
Yeah, for
there.
me it's 4, 1, then 3, then 2.
Yeah, I'm around there as well. Although I do really like the end of episode 2 with the fight
Oh,
inside of
the end was very good for sure.
a fight inside of a uh, grocery store. Oh shit! Fire
Oh,
alarm. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment.
wow. We have a
Okay,
on the
actually, I have a story. What's been going on in my house is I have a low battery in my,
Oh, I hate when that
and
happens.
so what's happening now is this. Okay, so we're good now.
All right.
So we can resume.
Don't
That's
even
been,
don't even cut that out. That's hilarious.
dude, 4 o'clock in the morning last night. This happened right after the Yankee game as well,
Oh,
and like it was not a good scene at my house. I think my dad tried to punch it. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get it. But it's yeah. We're good now. Moving on. Moving on. Yeah. So we're talking about the favorite episodes, and this is I think this is number one for me. This is especially because that end credit scene. Well, it's technically a mid credit scene, but like, come on, man,
dude. I
like,
mean,
come on.
it's the most comic booky thing ever, and I fucking love it. Like we're getting into this bizarre side of the MCU now,
Yeah, this is
and
getting
we have
weird.
an alligator Loki, dude. What the fuck?
Like, dude, this is getting like seriously like this is getting weird. Like, and
Like
Richard D.
this.
Grant in that
Oh,
costume. It's just I
this
need
is
I
the
need
kind
to
of
know.
stuff I've craved in the MCU, and we're getting it. And the crazy thing is, too, we're just not getting into it now. Like, there's gonna be so much
That's
more,
here to
and
stay, man. Like the weirdness is here to stay.
yeah, and we didn't even get like the President Loki stuff yet because I'm
Oh, that's
guessing
gonna be so cool.
because some people have been saying that President Loki is gonna be a different Loki, but I think it's just gonna be him. Honestly, I think it's gonna be our Loki becoming the president of all the other Lokis.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it's the same Loki that we've been, following. Yeah, I don't see why it would be, because if you remember, like all the variants look different from each other. So like I don't see, you know, I don't see why they would have two people that, two Tom Hiddlestons, if that makes
I,
sense.
no, I would love to know like the
Richard D. Grant doesn't look like Tom Hiddleston.
oh no, not at all. But I want to know like what is this place they got transported to?
Yeah, I
Like
want to
what
know.
exactly is it? Because it's another dimension, I guess. But like,
Dude, can you
how does it
imagine
work?
if they were transported to like an alternate universe?
I
Like,
mean, you literally
is this
have
like
the
is there like an ultimate universe for the MCU?
it's a good question because right now, like in the background, there's the Avengers Tower, dude. It's there.
Yeah, like could it be? Or maybe it's an alternate version where the events of Avengers 2012 things got thing, things went bad. Yeah.
Like I feel like this maybe could be like maybe an old Earth like with a timeline on an alternate universe that the TVA maybe just gave up on and they're using it almost as like a prison for all these people that like they send them there and there's no way for them to get out and they just stick there and they know since they're in another universe there's no realistic way for them to interfere again without the right tech which they don't have.
Don't drop the soap.
So and the other Loki too, he looks like he's holding like in a weird version of Thor's hammer, right?
I need to know everything about these variants. Like every single one of them looks incredible in the best way.
Oh
Like
yeah, like
I
they
need
look
to know.
so different.
I want to know what's going on here.
And dude,
Like,
Kid Loki, I mean that's gonna be probably a member of the Young Avengers, man. Like these are important characters we're getting.
yeah, it's gonna be nuts, man. Like, come on. Like,
And Richard E. Grant's suit, like you said, man, hilarious. I'm
I
like, I love it.
like, isn't that the original comic book Loki suit?
Yeah, man, and like it's so funny. Like they've been doing that. Like they did that with WandaVision with the Vision suit, and which actually
Yeah,
looks a lot like the Loki suit, and
I think they
Wanda
did
suit.
Wanda suit. Yeah, they did Wanda suit during the
It's
Halloween
so
episode. Yeah,
so
both
funny,
were
man.
during the Halloween episode. Yeah.
it's cool that they're going for some of that nostalgic stuff, and it works in the context of these shows and what they're meant to be. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, it would be really funny, to see Tom Hiddleston wearing that. But I don't think we're ever gonna see that. But yeah,
I do wonder if he gets a new suit, what it would look like.
I just go full comic. I've always been a big fan of when comic book shows and movies just go full comic book, where it's like, yep, this is just absolutely absurd, and we're just gonna roll with it. I wish Thor got to wear his helmet more.
Precisely what I'm gonna need in X-Men.
Dude, if there is a 100% chance that Wolverine is gonna wear his costume.
And you know how much that excites me? Like, you have no idea how much that excites me.
Like, we want to see that man in a Wolverine costume. Whoever gets cast as the next Wolverine, unless they want to, clone Hugh Jackman, make him 30 perennial.
Hey, if you find a way to do that, I am all for it.
Yeah, Elijah Wood is Wolverine.
Oh man, I cannot wait for the mutant stuff, man. That's gonna be fun when we get there.
Oh yeah, dude, the mutant stuff's gonna be hilarious. So yeah, I'm just trying to see if we missed anything on episode 4. Renslayer and Mobius had, a scene together, and Mobius was questioning what's been going on, and Renslayer was kind of like, you're delusional, this case is over, yada yada yada, kind of typical stalling tactics.
I do genuinely think that Renslayer cared about Mobius, but in the end, he was not nearly as important as
she doesn't care about him enough to stop the mission.
Exactly. That's not gonna happen. In the end, nothing is more important.
She's all business at the end of the day. She's not gonna let anyone get in the way of what.
Because her trying to get him off of this, that was her trying to protect him in my eyes. Like she was like, I'm gonna need you to back off, or
basically he didn't want her to. Yeah. He didn't want him. She didn't want him to question what's actually happening, because she knew what she would have to do to him.
Yeah, and you can even tell when she tells the men to prune him, like she did not, like she was hurt by that, like she really did not want to do that, but
she didn't want to do it. She liked Mobius, but like at the end of the day, she's got to do what she's got to do because she has plans with Kang.
Thank God that he's gonna be okay, because he's just somewhere in this universe, obviously.
Correct. Like, Mobius isn't dead. Loki's not dead. When they get, what's it called? When they get pruned?
Yeah.
When they get pruned like that, they don't die. You just get transported somewhere else. It could be an alternate universe, could be whatever it is. It could be a prison, like you suggested. Who knows? But Mobius is still around. They just have to find him. And that
reminds me. I had the funniest picture to send you.
Well, damn.
You're gonna like this. This is funny.
Now I want to see it. Oh my god. Oh god. If they did that, well, Disney owns Lightning McQueen, so I'm just saying.
We just do that.
You got transported into the Cars universe. That would be pretty hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I have nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, honestly, I think we pretty much covered everything for these 2 episodes, and in the end, episode 4, for me, it's a 10 out of 10, man. I think they did literally everything they needed to in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really have any issues with it. I mean, it feels like
flawless.
We learned a lot. What? Mobius and Hunter B-15 realized their variants, right? So we realized that the timekeepers those 3 timekeepers were bullshit. Mobius gets pruned. Loki gets pruned. We learn about a little bit more about Sylvie, where she's from, and her connection to Renslayer. We learned a lot of shit. And then at the end, in the mid-credit scene, he's surrounded by Loki variants in a probably destroyed New York, which, we learned a lot of stuff in episode 4. And episode 5,
we did. And you know what? There's gonna be a lot more we learn.
5 and 6 are going to be just nonstop balls to the wall. Like this, like they set it up. Now it's time for for the plot to unravel and wrap up.
Yeah, next episode is just going to be multiverse craziness, and that excites me so much.
Dude, we've been waiting for like multiverse craziness since Doctor Strange 1. So here we are. Multiverse. We're about to get into it. I have nothing more to say other than I'm super excited to see what they're doing. Like, cause like I need to know, man. Cause like this has just major implications for Spider-Man, for Doctor Strange, and potentially a season 2 of Loki, which I believe that's official, right?
It's not official technically, but I mean, a lot of people have reported on it or like rumored it and said like, yeah, it's probably happening. So if I had to
Hmm.
guess right now, yeah, it's like 90% chance of happening at least.
Hmm. Very interesting.
I mean, as far as shows go, this is the one that clearly has a season 2. Like they can do a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that sums it up for that. Do you have any last thoughts on Loki, or are you good?
I rarely have thoughts being a stupid person. All I can say is that I really liked what I saw. I'm really enjoying the show. It's definitely in the top 10 for me in terms of MCU projects. So if this can please wrap up nicely, so I can have a 6 episode, show that top to bottom is fantastic. Uh, That'd be great. So yeah, I got nothing else to say. Like you said, it's a great show so far, and let's keep it going.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see because What If is coming after this, and it's pretty clear those two shows are going to connect to an extent. I think personally, because although that TVA fixed all the timeline issues in the last episode, if the TVA gets taken down, which I'm assuming they are, then there's going to be no one to prevent those branches from happening. So that's probably going to be what If is about. And the cool thing is, What If is going to be it's going to be 10
When
episodes.
when does it premiere? What if?
It's definitely August. We just don't know when in August. So
Ah,
I mean, we're probably going to have, I mean, another month to wait or so between the end of Loki and that, because Loki's going to run into like middle of July, and then from there it's sometime in August. So it's going to be a minimum of like 3 weeks probably.
mm-hmm.
And then
So
after, I'm very interested to see because like they're doing one episode a week, and this is 10 episodes, so that means that you're talking a over 2 months for the show going on. But they're they're doing two more shows before the year ends. I'm pretty sure, right? Because Hawkeye and Miss Marvel are both in 2021.
yeah, I agree. I think I don't think like this animated show. I don't think they really care about this. Intermingling with the other live action projects.
That's what I'm interested
I,
in
I
because
I don't think like they're too worried about that. To be honest,
hopefully, I hope
I
they're
think
not.
I think they'll let What If and like whatever show comes out at the end of the year like overlap. I don't think they really care. Is Hawkeye this year?
Yeah, Hawkeye is this. I think that's the last show. I think Miss Marvel comes before Hawkeye actually, but
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah,
Hawkeye. Miss Marvel is definitely this year as well. Here, let me check because
I
I get
yeah.
these dates mixed up now because
Well,
like
because with all
there's
the
like
delays and
30.
everything, it gets confusing.
Yes, it is this year. It is this year, 2021. I should have
I'm
known that because
I'm
I'm very
thinking
excited for the plot.
I'm thinking Hawkeye is gonna be in December probably, and it might even probably gonna run into 2022 a bit. If I
Well,
had to
if
get
you remember, the set photos have a Christmas setting, so I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna be a December release, and maybe we get Miss Marvel. How I forgot is Miss Marvel's how long is Miss Marvel gonna be? I can't
I think
remember.
Miss Marvel is a 6 episode show, if I
I'll tell
remember
you
correctly.
right now. Episode. Yeah, 6 episodes. So
I'm smart.
if that one, if I had to guess, probably gonna start sometime in September,
Hell
and
yeah.
then yeah, probably actually. But then again, I don't even know honestly because I don't think they honestly probably could if they really wanted to wait to release it until What If is done, because if they release it even in like October, that runs into mid-November, and then then they have like a 2 to 3 week break before releasing
Okay.
Hawkeye. Yeah, so they can actually not even have the shows intertwined with each other, which would probably be their preferred option. But I'm also impatient, so I
I
would
have a
rather
question.
not.
I have a question because
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, Spider-Man's coming out in December. I'm wondering if you think like, do they wait till like December, like the week, like 2 days, like December 19th? Like Spider-Man comes out December 17th, so do they wait to release Hawkeye December 19th so it doesn't overlap with Spider-Man?
It's possible,
I
but
wonder if they're worried about like overlapping with the films, like because like Black Widow comes out in 9 days, so it doesn't. So Loki's gonna be entering its last episode by the time Black Widow comes out next week. Is that
honestly, I'm not quite. If anything, honestly, I think there's a good chance Loki might steal a little bit of spotlight from Black Widow. Like I can very easily see that happening because the scale of this show is a lot bigger than a movie like Black Widow, and
yeah?
I'm sure if they show Kang in the season finale like a few days after the release of that movie, I mean that's gonna be it might overshine it a bit.
I agree. I think Black Widow is gonna do numbers for sure. It's not.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I don't even think there's like an overshadowing. I think people are just gonna go see both. Honestly.
I mean Marvel fans are Marvel fans. They see
Yeah,
anything that's
it's a Marvel movie. People haven't been to the movie theaters in forever. The Black Widow is gonna make some bank. Uh, you know, Fast and Furious just came out. It's making a lot of money. I think Black Widow is gonna do well.
So I'm trying to think. I mean, we said we can briefly talk about Spider-Man No Way Home because we got some stuff on that, but
Yeah,
we're still waiting on the trailer obviously. We keep hearing different things over the course of the last like month and a half, Oh, it's going to come this week. Oh, wait, nope, it's going to be the next
no,
week. Oh,
no,
nope, maybe another two
no.
or three
Tom Holland's
weeks.
birthday. No, Tobey Maguire's
Tom Holland's
birthday.
birthday.
When's Andrew Garfield's birthday? It's like I think it's in
Oh, wait.
August.
Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are in New York. Oh no, it's
Wait,
coming.
but Tom's in L.A. though.
Yeah.
It's like Andrew Garfield's mother's birthday is the same day as Tobey Maguire's father's birthday, and Tom Holland was also born on that day. So XYZ equals Spider-Man No Way Home trailer is going to drop.
I can't tell if that's actually true.
No, that's not. That's not true. That's just
Okay, that would have been pretty crazy actually.
that would be hilarious. But yeah.
Uh,
It's
trying to think now.
I'm so sick of trailer speculation. It will drop when it drops, and I'm not interested in like speculating anymore.
The only good thing is we know for a fact, and I'm even saying that,
It's gonna come.
it's going to come in the month of July 2021. There's no way it doesn't. It's guaranteed. There's already
It has to, man.
No, it has
Like,
to because there's already promotional stuff coming out now. It's just starting to ramp up its promotion. In the month of July, you're going to be about how many months out? August, September, October, November. You're going to be 5 months out. 5 months, which is not far at all. You have to release a teaser at that point, and
it's inevitable.
yeah. And we just today we found out the Funko Pop release is going to be on August 1st, right?
Yeah.
So they have to release
That
a
could
trailer
just
by
be
then.
that could just be like a placeholder date though.
It could be, but either way, I think it's gonna come in July. I couldn't be more sure about that.
If it doesn't come in July, it'll come in August. Like it's just ridiculous.
No,
Like
but
that
even
Sony's been
so,
waiting.
it's gonna come in July.
Yeah.
I promise you.
We're only five and a half months off from No Way Home dropping.
It's not
So,
that far, man, and
it's not far.
And it's crazy to think
It's
how
gonna
little.
fly, and also remember, it's gonna fly quickly because you got Black Widow this month.
Yep,
You got Suicide Squad the next month. You got
dude,
Shang-Chi the next month.
Shang-Chi.
You got the next month. You got Venom, and it's just like you've got a nonstop flow of blockbuster movies that lead up to Spider-Man, and
It's
then even
freaking
after
awesome.
Spider-Man.
I mean, after Spider-Man, 2022 is gonna be the best comic
Like
book.
you got Batman, Doctor Strange, like Mission Impossible, Flash. Like it's just like what?
And dude, even the Marvel shows that year, fucking She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Secret
Yeah,
Invasion.
and even like you're saying, even the shows are ridiculous as well. I mean, like think about it. Like we're not once Black Widow is over, and once we're done with like Suicide Squad and
Yeah,
Shang-Chi, we're gonna be watching Miss Marvel. We're gonna be watching Hawkeye as well. It's ridiculous. Like we're not going long without comic book movie projects.
I think the longest I'll ever go without a comic book movie project in the next couple years is probably going to be like maybe a month tops, like at most. I don't see much
It's
more.
just a nonstop flow of
There's
shows.
constant between Marvel and DC, man. There's always going to be something, and especially in the case of Marvel. I mean, God,
it's ridiculous. Marvel's got like 30 plus projects.
I literally made a Google Doc on it. I think it's, if you count Sony projects, it's somewhere in the big, like the late 40s.
Yeah, so like it, I mean, and like most of the stuff they have planned hasn't even been announced. Which is just like,
yeah, dude. Like I have the list here. Like there's a lot of
and
movies.
you can't forget what Sony's doing either. By the way,
you want me to read off this list? It's crazy.
Go for it if you
All
want.
right, I'm gonna start all the way at the beginning. Like watch how long this goes. All right, this is just Marvel. All right,
just Marvel.
Black Widow.
Yep.
Shang-Chi.
Yep.
Venom: Let There Be Carnage.
Uh-huh.
Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
No Way Home.
I forgot Eternals existed.
There you go. No Way Home. Morbius.
Yep.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Uh-huh.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Uh-huh.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah.
The Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
Craven.
Yep.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Bang.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four.
Yep. Very excited for that.
Captain America 4.
Yep.
Blade.
Mm-hmm.
The Mutants.
Yep.
Deadpool 3.
Yep.
Spider-Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Web.
Yep. Where's the Ant-Man movie?
We got fucking Scorpion movie technically.
Oh God.
Jackpot.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Sony.
Man Wolf.
I forgot that existed.
And we haven't even got into the shows yet, dude.
Oh,
all right.
God.
Let me do the shows. This will be fun.
Go for it.
Got What If.
Yep.
Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk.
Yep.
Moon Knight.
Yep.
Secret Invasion.
Uh-huh.
Armor Wars.
Yep.
Echo.
Uh-huh.
Ironheart.
Yep.
I Am Groot.
Yep.
Silk.
Yeah.
And we have the inevitable Daredevil project, which will come eventually.
Yep. Did you say Echo, by the way?
Yep, I did. And that's not even counting the whole list here I have of projects in development that have no information. Like I know there's an A-Force project that's out there. There's definitely a Silver Surfer project.
There might be a Thunderbolts thing happening as well.
Yeah, there's probably a Midnight Suns project. There's definitely going to be a Young Avengers project. There's a Nomad project. I mean, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It is. It's just ridiculous. Like, we're never going another week without Marvel content for like.
And again, that's not even counting the inevitable DC stuff, because DC's trying to get into the streaming game themselves with some shows over the next couple years. And I mean, especially in the Batman world. So we're gonna get a couple of those. We're gonna get a couple movies on streaming like Blue Beetle and Batgirl. So I mean, we're not gonna be starving for content ever as a comic book fan again. So I am pretty freaking happy.
Getting a new Superman movie too. It's gonna be fun.
Yep, and we won't talk about that because probably weren't supposed to.
What?
Yeah.
No, the Superman movie got announced.
Which one?
Wait, what? Wait, are you saying there are two in development?
What Superman movie got announced?
The one.
Oh no! I'm thinking of the other thing I told you.
Oh yeah. Well,
that we're not allowed to talk about.
There's another Superman movie in development?
No, there's not.
Okay.
I am thinking of the other thing I told you a while ago, and
Oh,
for a sec I thought you said that. I was like, Tom, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I was talking about the Superman project.
Yeah, yeah, I got
That movie's already got like a writer. J.J.
yes,
Abrams is producing it. Yada
yes,
yada yada.
that's already announced. So yeah, I mean, I think Oh yeah, and the last thing we'll talk about with Spider-Man is the leaks that came out today, toy leaks. We briefly touched on that, but we can go into more detail a bit. We potentially got to look at one of what seems to be a few new suits actually, because the Funko Pop leak suggests that there's going to be 3 suits, and I can confirm from someone I trust that there's at least like I know for a fact what 2 suits are going to look like.
Ooh.
Like I know for
Now I'm excited.
Oh wait, I forgot. Do you not know that?
I know the only 2 suits that I know of right now are the suit that leaked today, and the one in the set photos, the updated Far From Home suit.
Actually, we might get 4.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I could be wrong, but I think we might get 4.
That motherfucker! Those Sony fuckers want to sell toys now.
Because I'm just reading the thing. It says upgraded suit, it says integrated suit, and it says
I think the integrated suit is the gold and the.
yes, I think that's the gold one. The upgraded suit, I'm not quite sure.
But then it also says that there's a gold one as well.
Well, yeah, so I'll tell you what one of them is after the show because I'm not allowed to say, but I will tell you. But yeah, the gold one we can talk about. You know, that looks like that's from straight up mostly from the Infinity War concept art, as some people have pointed out. And yeah, I'm guessing that's
It is literally the exact same suit.
yeah, it's pretty much just the iron spider
They're
tech
like
being
they're like
integrated.
they're
Yeah.
like we need a suit to set him apart from Toby and Andrew.
Yeah, and I think
Hey!
that's you know what? It's a pretty cool suit. Like I think it's gonna look good. It's just it depends on what the other suits are too.
I wish they would introduce. I wish like we could have done a Spider-Verse movie in which like he got like the black suit or something, but like money.
Well, you mean
Stuff
like
that. Yeah,
symbiote suit or like just
he
black
got
suit?
he got like infected by the symbiote or something.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. That would have been cool. I don't know, but like just like to differentiate the suits because obviously Toby's probably gonna wear the Toby suit that we all know and love. Andrew's probably gonna wear. If I were Andrew, if I was gonna do Andrew, I would do the first Amazing Spider-Man suit. I would make up an excuse for him to wear that because it's so different from the
Yeah,
Toby
honestly,
suit.
I think that would be a good idea, even if it's brief. It's
Like
not a bad suit.
have his Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit get destroyed or something, and let him wear the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, the
No,
basketball suit.
even if they don't do that, I'm cool either way. Obviously, I love the other suit, so I'm good.
Yeah, I just think like it's best to try. I think like they understand this. Like you're gonna watch. Like let's be honest, there. Like the big fight at the end is gonna be a big CGI battle, and
Oh yeah.
you're gonna see 3 Spider-Men wearing red and like the same color scheme. Besides Tom, who wears black, red and black. That can get a little confusing,
You
especially
know what?
for casuals.
I'm gonna send you what the other suit is right now, but don't say it on the air. I'm gonna torture these people.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of torture, but like I understand why we have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh sweet God.
And like that's from our guy.
Oh God.
Like that's him talking with his guy.
Is there like an explanation for this suit?
Not that I know of for sure, but my gut tells me it's no. I can't say it because it'll give it away. But I'll tell you right after the episode. I think we're done anyway. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
Loki gets 2 thumbs up for me.
Yes, me too, man. This has been a wonderful episode as always. But until next time, this has been a great episode of Cape Time. See you, everybody.
Peace.